January, and February, I haven't won a single week. So basically I've been red every single week. This week it's been changing. Hey guys, it's Will. Welcome to the channel. I'm a part-time day trader trying to become a full-time. And if you guys are interested, you guys can join along with me. So we are in the last week of February. We can see that so far in the week, I'm doing decent. I'm up finally. That's actually a first. I'm finally up. I'm up $23 in a week, and my trade win percentage is 60%, which makes sense. 2 out of the 3 trading days I won, so I am 60%. My profit factor is 1.53. My day win percentage is 66%. My average win to loss is 1.02. I would have liked it to be like, let's say 2, because last week it was a 2.5, but this week I was trying to protect myself a bit. Although it's only a 1, it's still better than losing trades. But as long as my win percentage is above 50% and my average win to loss is at least a 1, then I should be in the green. We still do have Friday, which is tomorrow, but we will see if I take any trades, because I am up this week. So I can't really say that I am up yet because there is still one more trading day. I am going to break down the first trade, the February 24th, on the Monday that I took, which is right here. I did win 13 bucks. I also do have this trade live. My previous video, I did break down it thoroughly, and you guys can watch that as well. But I am going to do a small breakdown right now. My ROI for this trade was 18%, and I did win $13. This right here is a 30-minute time frame. This gray box is the pre-market. The black zones is when the market opens right here. My strategy is the break and retest. So I look for breaks of key levels, and I look for the retest, and then the continuation, depending if I'm trying to short or long the market. The market is right now, this is the previous day's lows, which is the QQQ, and this is the SPY, this is the NASDAQ, and this is the ES. So what I'm looking for in every day is a break and retest. If it breaks down this level, I don't chase the downside. I wait for the retest of this level. If I see rejections, then I'll play a short off that level. And it has to align with the other markets. If I was looking for a long, I'll want to look for at least breaks of levels, like probably at least the break of this level, and this have reclaims of the market, so it looks more bullish. And then I can look for a retest of these levels, and then I can take it for a long. Going into the 2-minute chart, we can see that the market did open above this zone right here, which is the 525 on the QQQ. I'm not gonna short it or long because it hasn't broken levels. It hasn't broken key levels on the market where I want to see my break and retest strategy. We can see that the SPY did break down this level right here, but I don't want to short it yet because we are still above this demand zone here, this demand zone here, and this demand zone here. So I don't want to take any shorts yet until I see the markets align together. Once it started breaking down this level, the QQQ, it did start breaking the NASDAQ and the ES as well. We did not see any retests of this level. It just kind of went straight down. So I don't take any trades like that. I could have, but that's not my strategy. I wanted for it to retest to show me that it's going to fail. Sometimes the market just goes down, but I'm not going to chase that because a lot of times it just goes back on your face, gets bought back up, and that's the reason why you lost, because you had no confirmation. The market just tanked. Then we see the market test the next level. It tests this zone right here, the 521.50 on the QQQ, but I don't chase it, right? I don't chase the downside. See, if you look here, it goes back down, but some people might chase it. I don't see a proper retest, and then it just goes back up. That's the reason why I wait for proper confirmation, is because you can lose trades if you try to chase it. Even though it was breaking down this level, it was breaking down this level, we can see that the ES is getting closer to this demand zone on the ES, and the NASDAQ is getting to this demand zone. So I don't want to short it anymore. It's because we are getting closer to a potential demand zones. That's why I don't short it. I want the markets to all align together, and then I will play a strategy. We then see the market get back above this zone right here. So I could do a retest long. I could wait for this retest right here and then take it for a long. But doing this, I lost a lot in the past. It's because we're still in the downtrend and we can still just keep rejecting levels. So I want reclaims of the market. I want reclaims of at least this market. But at this point, we can see that this market was above the demand zone, but we are still below these zones over here. So I don't really want to take it. And then that's why I decided to play it short instead. We can see that the market was trying to get up back above this level. It was failing, and I waited multiple times, waited multiple minutes, candles, and it was still failing. So I decided to short the market. This green arrow right here, that's where I got my entry, and this red arrow, that's when I exited. And then these red arrows on the other markets are just my entry points. I could have actually got to 60% if I held all the way down to this area and get to these lows, but the reason why I sold was because the QQQ was getting close to this zone right here, which was the demand zone, and I thought it could hold, so I got out. It could be wrong for me because I wasn't holding for the 2-to-1. I was like, I want to protect myself, and having a small win is still better than taking a loss. I wanted to protect myself, and I just took that small win. Now here is the Tuesday trade. It was a pretty good trade. I did get a 48% on that trade, and I did win 43 bucks. This right here is the 30-minute time frame. Again, I did not get a 2-to-1. It wasn't a 60%. It was about a 48%. And I could have got a lot more, but I was trying to protect myself again. And what do I look for again? Is always the same thing, the break and retest. And we can see that this was the previous day's lows on the QQQ, the SPY, the NASDAQ, and the ES. And what do I look for is if it breaks that low, if it breaks the previous day's lows or the pre-market lows, I wait for a retest on the next day, and then I can short it. It can even happen on the same day. In the pre-market, it did get tested up here, tested again, got rejected. But that's the pre-market, I can't trade then. I gotta wait for it to happen in the regular hours, regular trading hours. So what I can do is look for the next zone, which my zone was right here. My zone was right here, which was the 517 on the QQQ. It is the pre-market low as well. And what I did was look for a break and retest short on that level. So I waited for it to break down on intraday, break that level down, start retesting the level, and then take it down to the next zone. Going into the 2-minute chart now, we can see that it did break this zone right here. So once it did break that zone, I was waiting for the retest. As you can see, the first couple candles happened quickly. We can see that it just tanked down. And like I say, I don't take my entry right away. I was getting anxious because I was like, maybe I missed the trade, but we can see that it gives you back the retest. It starts coming back up slowly, and it gives you that retest, and then you can take it all the way down to the 511 zone. I did not take it all the way down there. It would have been nice to have that trade, but I did not. I did risk a little more than I wanted to. I think I got it around 516, like this count over here, 516, 17 cents. It was a little over 50-cent risk. So, but I saw the trade going, and I just knew that I can't miss the trade. I did risk a little more than I wanted to, but I knew that it was an A+ setup. You can see that once this market broke down, it was breaking down this demand zone on the SPY, breaking down this demand zone on the ES. And although it was holding this demand zone on the NASDAQ, I just felt that the markets were weaker around these zones once it broke down. I did get out over here, did get out around this area over here because it was close to the 100 SMA on the SPY level. And it was right at this demand zone on the ES and the NASDAQ level here. I knew that potentially it could get to a 511, even though I had a strong belief that it wasn't gonna get to the 511. Why didn't I hold? I didn't hold because I want to protect myself. And imagine it didn't get to that 511, then I could have lost the trade. I didn't want to hold all day. I'm a scalper, and if I had more contracts, because I only use one contract right now, I don't have that risk tolerance right now. I don't have that size that I can get more than one contract. If I did, I can scale out at least 3/4 of my position and then try holding out for the long run. Try holding out for the runners. If I held my whole position, I could have got a 5-to-1 or 4-to-1. With that being said, I'll show you guys a live trade now and then get into the next day.
Order filled.
Wednesday, I did not actually take any trades. There was no setup, so I did not take any trades. But Thursday, I did take 3 trades. It's more trades than I wanted to. The last week, I said I don't want to trade 4 times. And you can see over here, I did take 4 trades on each Thursday and Friday. But today, I did take more than 2 trades. But I feel like I've been doing better this week. Obviously, you can see that I did win 2 trades, so I do feel more in tune with the market. But I just felt like I was confident in the trade, but I just did not have the right entries. I took early trades and I lost. My losses were 26%, my first trade 29%, so it's still a valid loss. And my winner was only 11%, which that's unfortunate. If I did sell out where I should have sold, then I would have got like a 40%. Then I probably would have been break even today, but I tried holding out for the actual target, but I did not get it. Did not respect my zone, and then I lost. So that's why sometimes you have a target, but you got to respect the zones. And if you don't respect it, then you can lose your trade, or you can just end up getting a low profit like I did today. I'm gonna break this down in TradingView because I haven't tried it out. I haven't journaled anything yet. This right here is the 30-minute time frame, and we can see that previous day's lows on the QQQ was this zone right here, 511, and the high was 520. So the markets match up on pretty much the other markets too. But going into today, the only reason why I'll long the market is if we break the market, if we break over the key level, which is this zone right here, the 520 area, and the Nasdaq zone. You can see that if I draw a box here, this right here is the zone that we are in right now. This is the zone that we are in right now. Right now we're in a downtrend, so the only reason why I'll think about longing it is if it breaks the box, and then we can get retest, and then long the market. But coming today, we see that the market was weak. We didn't get any of that right here, but I did still long the market, and I'll show you guys why after. But if it breaks this low on the QQQ, then I'll take my short position and wait for the retest. It is the previous day low, so I can wait for that retest. And now I'm gonna go to the 2-minute time frame and show you guys what I was looking at for today. We can see that early morning, the market did break down the 517 level. So what I can do is look for a break and retest, look for a short, but we can see that there was no retest here. It did not really come back to the level. And plus we are getting close to this demand zone on the SPY and the ES. So there's no point in shorting it there. It's too early. But we can see that it did continue. It did just fall all the way down, but I'm not really going to do that because I want more confirmation. I want the markets to align better. So I did not take that trade. What I can do is look for the next retest. I can look for this break right here and then retest and then short, or I can just long the market. I could just, hopefully if this market was holding, I can wait for that long right there. We are in a downtrend and we broke a level, so I'm not really interested in longing the market. But once it started breaking this level, we are getting closer to this demand zone here and here, so I did not want to short it anymore. It's almost like a game. You gotta try aligning the markets up together. I'm not sure if anyone trades like this. Maybe someone just looks at one market and look at a bigger time frame, but I like to align all these markets together. I like to align the futures with the indices, and that's how I place my trade. And once the market started sliding up, getting closer to this 511 zone, I was interested in shorting the market because that's the retest, right? But around that zone, the 511, that's already when the market started reclaiming these zones on the other indices and the markets. So I did not really want to short the market unless we did a break or we start seeing weakness on that candle. It's because if I zoom out a little bit, we can see that the previous day's lows, the 511 is the retest zone that I'm looking for, but we can see that the market and other markets it's getting back above these demand zones. So I don't really want to short the market if we're reclaiming the market, right? If I go back to the 30-minute time frame, we can see that there's wicks, pretty big wicks back to the upside. So I was like, maybe this is a strong market and I don't want to short back into it. I did take a long though. When the market reclaimed back above the 511, it reclaimed back above these demand zones right here. I looked for the break and retest. So once that broke and did a retest, it broke above pretty strong. You can see that the SPY as well, the big candle right here, the SPY, the ES, and the QQQ was already above, but the Nasdaq finally broke as well. So I was looking for a retest. But if I zoom in a bit closer, normally what I like to see is a break of a level and then like a slow retest, and then it can go back up. But what we can see right here is that it broke up here, and then the next candle was really aggressive. It went back down, and I decided to long it when I started seeing holds right here, but maybe that was not right because it wasn't like a slow retest. It was kind of aggressive, but I was thinking that I can hold. It was holding this level of the SPY, it was holding this level on the ES, and then it was holding this level on the Nasdaq, and it was also holding the 100 SMA on the QQQ. So I thought we can have a good long. I thought it can just go back up to this zone here and I have a good trade. The other idea that I had from before was the break of this level. If it did a break of this level and then a retest, and I could take that as a short. And once it got back above, I was still believing that it wasn't a strong break. It wasn't a strong long to do. So I was still waiting for the QQQ to break this level and then maybe do a retest short like this. But it did not really give me that. But then I started seeing the SPY break down the zone here. The ES started breaking down. It started giving me retest. We can see that green candle, it was a fake out. It broke up, it failed, and then you can also see the SPY. So once I started seeing the ES, that red candle right there, once I started seeing that break or go down, I decided to take my position there. It was also still rejecting this Nasdaq level, and it was rejecting the 100 SMA on the Qs. I was like, maybe this could be the play, and just put my stop loss above there. But we can see that it never actually like broke back above. It wasn't like super strong, so maybe I should have my stop loss above this candle right here. If it breaks over that, then I can stop out, but my risk will be a little higher, so I didn't want to do that. I probably took it too early as well. It's because if you look at the SPY, it's still chopping up around this zone here. Normally I want a candle to close fully below the zone I wanted to short, and then I can take my longer here. If you see right here, it's all like opening above the candles, and I did not really wait long enough. But you can see here, this candle finally did actually close, and I could take my entry there. But still, my second entry, I still took it early, but it was working out. And I was hoping for the downside to get back to the 592 level and the 590.50 level on the ES, and I guess back to these lows right here, this lower here, this lower here. But I guess I didn't respect the 100 SMA like I thought I did. The 100 SMA got into the 100 SMA on the SPY level, and then it touched this zone on the 2100, and I knew that it was going to be a big zone and I probably should have sold right there, but I was being stubborn and saying I want my 2 to 1. I know that my target is lower, so I don't want to sell, and if I lose, I lose. And then once I started getting back up, I had a lot of volume. I'm like, damn, I should have sold out. But the SMA aligns with this Nasdaq level as well, and I knew that it was a strong level, so I probably should have sold out. It would have been like around 40%. And now I'll show you guys the live trade.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
And that is my recap for this week. I will do a monthly review for February. So far we are up 23 bucks. We are up finally in a week. January and February, I haven't won a single week, so basically I've been red every single week. This week has been changing, and what I like to say is how you do one thing is how you do everything. Keep staying disciplined, keep staying consistent, and let's just get 1% better every day, and I'll see you in the next one.